Abbiamo detto una prima fila molto affollata con gli Emini sciolti, poi Berto, Mezzetti, Milan Lannefoden, poi Nicoli, Gustavo Sandrucci, che tra l'altro ieri ha fatto una grandissima rimonta, poi Buio, Abella con Argenti, Albui, Reyes, Puget con Spinkiewicz, Jurado con Sebasti Scalera e poi Torelli con Cocaine, queste sono le prime 10 file, tra l'altro chiusa la pit lane e quindi tra poco si inizierà quella che è la procedura di partenza. Ricordiamo tra l'altro che Federico Sciorti, che è il campione in carica per quanto riguarda la Vincent Italian Series, campione 2021, con Felice Gelmini che è ritornato tra virgolette al primo amore, quello delle Clio. Quest'anno ha fatto il GCR Europe con la squadra di Sebastian Leb con la Jun. Intanto vediamo nelle immagini anche Paolo Alzanoni e Samuel Francalanci che sono andati a salutare il loro driver, e quindi ora si andrà a sgombrare quello che è la griglia di partenza per poi partire per questa gara da 25 minuti più un giro. Ricordiamo che quest'anno cade anche l'anniversario dei 30 anni appunto di Clio Cup.
To Monza and welcome to the second race of the weekend here in Clio Cup Europe. This phenomenal temple of speed hosting its second race meeting of the year with Clio Cup Europe on the calendar, and we have a phenomenally large grid of cars this weekend. If you didn't join us yesterday, well, you don't know what you're missing. You need to go back and check that once you have watched today's race as well. My name is Chaz Draycott. I'm going to be guiding you through whatever mayhem unfolds today with our 48-car grid. Felice Gelmini, the man that won yesterday's race, starts on pole position alongside Federico Scionti. Filippo Berto and William Mazzetti make up row 2. Nicola Milan and Mathieu Lanapudon are on row 3. Lorenzo Nicoli is in 7th place alongside Gustavo Sandrucci. Then we have Guillaume Mayo and Mark Guillot. Then it's Nicola Abea, Andrea Argenti, Alex Alboy and Antonio Herrerias. David Puget, second in the championship, starting 15th on the grid. So it's not it's not going to be an easy day for David. He's got Jerzy Spinkovic behind him, but very importantly, he has got Anthony Girardo and Alessandro Sebasti Scalera with him. Gabriele Torelli and Paul Cocaine are on row 10. Thomas Pekar and Matteo Righetti on row 11. Now, Thomas Pekar, if he gains as many places as he did yesterday, he'll win this race. He started 37th on the grid yesterday and finished 10th. It was unbelievable. Righetti alongside him, as mentioned. Giacomo Trebbi is 23rd, ahead of Nikola Milkovic. Then it's Pietro Bacchi and Andreas Stucchi on row 13. Alessio Alcidi starts alongside Stefan Polderman in 28th. Sandro Cottini is 29th. Vittorio Zadotti rounds out your top 30. There's another 17 yet. Frank Horn is 31st ahead of René Steenmetz. Then it's Henrik Siebel and Lionel Viguier. Jean-Marc Thevenot is 35th with Yerely Ospinov in 36th. Then it is Douay alongside Quinto Stefana. Mariano Alonso and Daniele Pasquale round out your top 40. Yes, top 40. Jacopo Jimenez is 41st ahead of Mikel Fay. Then it's Massimiliano Danetti alongside Matteo Bigogno. Joaquin Rodrigo is 45th. Gabriel Alonso 46th. And at the back of the field in 47th is Stefano Bargigia. So yesterday's race, similar conditions to this. And it was very, very slippery indeed. A lot of drivers making a lot of mistakes. And it was very easy to lose the back end, according to a number of drivers. I spoke to Paul Coquine after the race yesterday, and he was saying that even at 15 kilometers an hour, the back end of the car was stepping out in that first chicane. But the grid is very jumbled up for this race compared to what we've had in previous races. The qualifying that they did the other night was pretty much at night. The qualifying was done in the dark. There was a big accident for David Pouget down the start-finish straight, which is probably the main factor as why he's 15th on the grid. Championship protagonist and yesterday's race winner, Nicolas Milan, there in the red car, is 5th on the grid. So he's not got much work to do if he wants to keep extending that points advantage over Mr. Pouget. As you can see, though, they're all working hard to get some temperature into the tyres now before they line up. There is David Pouget behind Antonio Herrerias on their row of the grid. Through Ascari they go. A massive drift yesterday by Anthony Girardot through Ascari. It was fantastic to watch, but ultimately he would end his race there, as he did the same thing a few laps later, overcorrected and put the car in the wall. There, everybody's still maintaining the temperature that they can get in the tyres. It's very difficult for them to get the temperature into them. The drivers were explaining that to me yesterday afternoon, that they really have to rag them hard. I was talking to Felice Gelmini about the fact that he really throws the car very, very sideways on these warm-up laps, almost spins the thing. But he said you have to do it. You really have to scrub these tyres at the front and work hard in getting them warmed up. And there he is then on pole position. I can see him just outside my window. There's Lorenzo Nicoli and Gustavo Sandrucci. Those two both teammates at Progetto E20 Motorsport. Lorenzo is very exciting and very quick, so keep your eye on him. Sandrucci did well yesterday as well. He ended up finishing in 4th place behind Milan, Pouget and Gelmini. Alex Alboy won the Challengers Cup yesterday. The Challengers Cup, basically the drivers that are either under 26 years of age at the start of the season or have competed in less than a certain number of Clio Cup events. Pietro Bacci won the Gentleman Drivers category yesterday as well. There is Alessandro Sebasti Scalera. He was out at turn 1 yesterday. Anyone that has been watching the season so far will notice that that's Thibaut Bossi's old car, the TB2S machine, which Nicolas Milan bought for Milan competition. Still, they make their way to the grid. And still, they continue to form up. Silence falls over Monza for a moment. You can see a few people up there on the podium ready to watch the action. And the lights will come on in just a moment. The final car's still lining up at the back of the grid though. And there we go then, the green flag is waved at the back, and the second race of the weekend in the 2021 Clio Cup Europe at Autodromo Nazionale Monza is underway. Or at least it's meant to be. Everybody wheel spinning so much off the line. Federico Cianti gets a fantastic launch eventually when he gets up into second or even third gear. And I think he might have the better of Gelmini. He's got Filippo Berto on his left-hand side now. Gelmini sandwiched in the middle. Is he going to be later on the brakes? Take your pick. How many of them are going to go straight on at turn one? Looks like David Puget's got a mega start. Berto goes straight on. So too does Nicoli. Guillaume Mayo's gone with him. Milan up to second place as well, ahead of Gelmini. There's a sideways. Is that Torelli? It is. Gabriele Torelli sticking the back end out. And look at that, Cianti leads then, Milan second, then it's Gelmini getting ahead of Filippo Berto. I think that's Torelli actually in fourth position. Nicoli and Sandrucci still together. Guillaume Mayo recovering, Alboy on his right-hand side. Everybody making it round Curva Grande for the first time. Nicola Milan, though, he is wasting no time at all. Fifth on the grid, he says, right, watch this, Chaz, I'll go for the lead by the second chicane, but no, straight on he goes. And yesterday he inherited the win because Gelmini gained too much of an advantage by going straight over at the chicane, so he's going to be really careful about that. Gelmini now looks down the inside and says, look, now you've done it, mate. Everybody's still making their way through the second chicane, through the Della Roggia. There's Guillaume with Puget behind. David Puget already up to 8th position. He's gained 7 spots in the first few corners. Start of the race is under investigation. Apparently, I think some drivers may be jumping it. Looked like there was a car smoking as well there. I hate to say it, but it might be Jerzy Spinkovic in the middle. They had a part on the car fail on the front left during qualifying. It would be a nightmare for them to have even more. Under the bridge they come then, up to Ascari. Nicola Milan down the inside of Federico Cianti. Looks like he got that done. There's Guillaume down the inside of Nicoli. But look at that, Cianti fights back, says not on your life. Bits of bodywork go flying around the outside. Gelmini, thank you very much, he says. Lovely stuff. Wing mirrors folded in on Milan and Cianti. Oh, that's Sandrucci off. Sandrucci's off at Ascari in the background. But Gelmini, the beneficiary of that battle between Cianti and Milan. It was probably just a wing mirror cover that went flying, the spray kicking up on the right-hand side of your shot, but look at that, Cianti holding on to the lead. Is Gelmini going to get a cutback, though? He's going to get some fantastic bump draft from Nicola Milan, I can imagine. Look at the cutback on that. That's only one lap, then, in this 25 minutes plus a lap long race. Here goes Nicola Milan. Now, if you've not seen Clio racing before and you've not seen how much these things slipstream each other, trust me, they punch one big hole in the air. Milan staying in the middle of the road, forcing Gelmini over to the inside line. Who's going to brake later? It looks like they're both trying to test each other's patience. Gelmini moves over a little bit, stays down the inside. Does he get in front? He does. Forces Milan out of it. A bit of contact with him and Cianti. Then it's Lana Poudon that's behind them. Apologies. I did think that it was the number 12 that had gone off earlier of Gabriele Torelli, and it was. I must have got his confused with Mathieu Lana Poudon. Everybody else just tickling their way around the first chicane. They're being oh so careful. The car just going through his shot there, the white and black machine of Andrea Argenti leads the gentleman drivers class, I should say. At the moment, he's 10th place overall. Sebasti Scalera 13th, he's second in that class. Lana Poudon leads the gentleman drivers, and Felice Gelmini leads them off the road. Straight on at the chicane, he got a penalty yesterday, he needs to be careful now. Now Milan says, look mate, you've done it. Although I'd argue there that Gelmini gained some advantage, but he's slowing it down now at least. There's Nicoli down the inside of David Puget. David round the outside. Great comeback drive already, this. Now, cars 55 and 74 had an incident at the first corner, apparently. That is René Steenmetz and Vittorio Zadotti. Their incident is under investigation. There's a car off already on the right-hand side there. There's Thomas Pekar doing a bit of Thomas Dakar. Bit of Dakar rally over at Ascari. Now there was a car off. I think that might have been William Mazzetti, might it not? It was one of the Sheffo Sport cars, the dark blue machine. Could have even been Anthony Girardo. Now, this is Nicoli climbing around all over Puget. I think David got past on this lap, but now Nicoli wants to get that position back off him. Federico Cianti all over the back of Nicola Milan. Gelmini has quite the lead at the moment. Oh, you can hear him locking up, and he's gone straight on. He's pushing very hard indeed, is Gelmini. He normally races in TCR, but trying his hand at Clio's, doing a great job of it, but he is working that car to its limit. Argenti and Sandrucci also having contact as well. That will have been the contact that put Sandrucci out of the race, and it is Girardo that is out of the race, I can confirm that. has had another crash, this time on the formation lap. Nightmare for Gerardo. He's very excited to watch his Anthony, but he's just pushed it a bit too hard once again, and that's been the sort of downfall of his season. He's unbelievably quick, but just has these incidents in races that lose him the points. Gelmini forcing Milan to use all of the road there. Lanapoudon with Guillot lined up behind him. Guillot tries a cutback. He's got to be careful because Filippo Berto's there, and they both get past Lanapoudon. Gets a nightmare exit out of the first chicane. The Rettifilio. Oh, there's a door open there. Is that Herrerias? It's either Herrerias or Polderman. I think it's Stefan Polderman. Door open on the car, because there's Herrerias. I mean, he's got bits on his car flapping around as well, but it's not quite a door, is it? You can hear the car skittering around on the brakes, just trying to get any bit of grip that they can. Guillot down the inside of Berto. Berto says, all right, mate, watch this. I'll go this way. Guillot with a white wing mirror cover on his left-hand side of his car, clearly showing that he used the yellow one previously. There's Argenti off the circuit as well, doing his own bit of rallycross. Clios like this are converted often from rallycross cars and used in a lot of the rallies and Clio trophies. If you don't follow Renault Sport Series on their social media, do have a look. Look at that, some lovely drifting by Henrik Siebel there. Nicely saved. And that's how close we race in Clios. Fantastic stuff. Literally pushing Siebel around there. I think that was Massimiliano Donetti in the 76 car, giving him a good old shove. But his teammate is at the front of the pack, Felice Gelmini, flying away for Ascari. Look at them attack those curves. One way, then the other. Managing the weight transfer. Nicoli tries to get past Puget. He's going to get some fantastic slipstream. Watch the white and yellow car at the top of your shot. Staying in the middle of the road so he can cover both ways off. Now he gets behind Berto, tries to get some slipstream of his own. Listen again, see if we can... now there's Mathieu Lanapoudon. Now he has pulled over at the side of the road. It doesn't take a genius to tell you that, but not quite sure where that is. Now car 21 also has apparently got a black and orange flag, which is for bodywork on the car. That is Stefan Polderman. It's for basically a part of the car or damage that could cause danger to others, and that is the fact that the door is wide open. Gelmini does the fastest lap as we look at Puget and Nicoli glued together down the straight, both of them folding one wing mirror in each. And it's just going to be who's the last of the late breakers. Milan goes a little bit deep. Cianti flapping his wing mirror around, and it looks like Puget tried to be the last of the late breakers. He's gone a little bit straight on at the chicane. Here's a replay. And is this... Oh, Henrik Siebel getting the back end out again, and he's gone and done a bit more rally crossing in the gravel, and that is more than beached. He needs to get a deck chair out, I think, for that one. And that will be why we are under safety car. There's where Lanapoudon is, so that must have been right after we saw him drop some positions out of that chicane. He must have only sort of pootled out of the chicane at very low speed because he had some issue with the car. Because it looked like a very strangely slow exit. And it's going to be, unfortunately, a slow exit for Henrik Siebel as well, as he's going to get dragged through the gravel. But this gives Milan another chance now to reel in Gelmini, be right up behind him when this race gets going. Felice had a fantastic start yesterday after the safety car. Really gapped the field early on. We have to see whether he can do that once again. There's Argenti in the middle of the pack. He's got Milkovic as well behind him, a newcomer to the series. Nicola's been doing a fantastic job, 12th in the race at the moment, started 24th on the grid, so he's had a really good run. And where's yesterday's superstar of Thomas Pekar, because he started 37th yesterday and ended up in 10th position. I went to see him after the race and gave him a big congratulations. He said it was very enjoyable despite the difficult conditions. He's currently 30th, his Pekar, so after that off that he had earlier, he's clearly lost a lot of places. You can hear the unmistakable beeps of emergency vehicles as I think Gerardo's car is moved away. You can see a little bit of sort of debris or muck on the side of the circuit there, probably where he did go off on the formation lap. Nightmare scenario for Gerardo. We've got Guillot and Berto right together as well. Those two are always exciting to watch. I'm sure we'll have a fantastic battle with those pair. But it's Gelmini from Milan, Cianti, Guillot, Berto, Nicoli, Puget, Alboy, Herrerias and Abea. Some of them sneaking their way into the top 10. Antonio Herrerias going well, actually. looking at the grid, he started 14th in Herrera, so up into 9th place. Nicolas Abea started 11th and is up to 10th, so any gain is a good gain in this sort of racing. As mentioned, there's a lot of cars for these guys to fight against. We started with 47 on this grid, 48 registered for the weekend. And Monza is the sort of place that can accommodate that. That's why it's fantastic to go to these big circuits and these incredible venues with Clio Cup Europe. I mean, personally, it's been fantastic, you know, going to some of the best circuits in the world. It's my first year, I should say, doing European commentary and travelling to these sorts of circuits. You can see the crowd enjoying breakfast as well. It's a very early start for Clio Cup Europe because there's a GT endurance race on later today, so we're cramming all of the day's races into the start of Sunday. Normally we'd be doing qualifying around this sort of time on Sunday, but we did the qualifying for this on Friday night in the dark, hence why the grid was so jumbled up in comparison to previous rounds. Filippo Berto leading the Challengers Cup at the moment from Nicoli and Alboy. They're 5th, 6th and 8th respectively. You can see that by the little red mark next to their car number on the left-hand side of your screen. The blue ones are the gentleman drivers, and it's Andrea Argenti in 11th place leading that at the moment. Sebastian Scalera is 13th overall, second in class, and yesterday's winner from that class is Pietro Bacci. He is 16th overall, third in class. There's more fans having a good morning. It may be a very wonderful place, Monza, a very pretty place, but it's mighty cold this weekend, I'll tell you that for free. That's what makes the racing even more interesting. The drivers don't have to worry about tyre temperatures by the time the race comes to an end. They can just push hard. They just have to manage it with how slippery it is. It's not raining like it was yesterday, but it was declared a wet race, so the drivers need to keep their lights on and, of course, keep their wits about them as well. But looking out the window, there's certain parts of the circuit that are drying out, but not really much of it, to be honest with you. The safety car has been confirmed as in this lap, as you see in the bottom left. So our beautiful Megane RS safety car will make its way in, give way to Felice Gelmini. Now, he's not bunching the field up as you saw yesterday, so he might be able to try and get away with something here with Nicolas Milan behind him. There's a 94 car there of, I believe, Danetti. No, Danetti's the 76 car. It was a 94 machine really chucking it over the curbs for a second there. It's Pietro Bacci. So here's Gelmini round the final corner then. Gets his foot down. Milan is a few car lengths back. That even looked like Gelmini was using the safety car for some sort of slipstream there. That would be a hell of a tactic. So Gelmini, Milan, Cionti, Gio, Berto. Berto tucked right up behind Mark Gio as well. The Oregon cars are not easy to miss. They're bright pink, yellow and green colour schemes. Everybody fanning out then into the first chicane. Gelmini moves over, trying to push Milan a little bit wide into turn one, but that would help him effectively. Look at them now, all just checking up in front of each other. No Noah's Ark situation, 2x2 through here. Argenti has got Milkovic all over the back of him. There's Landa Poudonc's car, just covered with a yellow flag at the moment. So no overtaking on the exit of that sector. Still 11 minutes and a lap to go in this race. So plenty more entertainment coming your way. Now look at that, Gio looking down the inside of Cionti on the right-hand side. Gio still in the middle of the road. He's got Berto now coming up on his right-hand side. Manages to hold onto it. Pouget's going well in 7th place, but even still, if he finishes there, he'll be losing points to Milan in the championship. It's the best 20 races that count, and once we finish this one, there's only 2 more in 2 weeks' time at Circuit Barcelona, Catalunya. We'll be in the Spanish sunshine to finish our season. That's if there is Spanish sunshine in the middle of November. But Milan now actually looking more under pressure from Cionti than looking like he's actually assaulting Gelmini in front of him. Potentially a swing in the favour here. Gelmini trying to take his second win of the weekend on the road. Hopefully no penalties for him this time. The conditions are slightly better than yesterday, still slippery. You can see the racing line so greasy, the shine off the headlights. really showing true where the racing line is. Berto is now under pressure from Nicoli and Pouget. There's Argenti, still with Milkovic all over the back of him. Back down the straight they go. There's no further action from the earlier incident that we mentioned, by the way, with René Steenmetz and Vittorio Zadotti. Those two started 30th and 32nd on the grid, respectively. Now, Gio wants to try and help out Nicola Milan here, because Cianti in the Scuderia Costa Ovest car is the spoiler in the pack for them. There's Pouget running very wide. Look at that wing mirror on Nicoli. Shows you how good the tethers are on these wing mirrors. Gio closing on the back of Federico down the straight. All the way down into turn one they go. Hard on the brakes, look at that, they've boxed him in on the inside. Milan stays in the middle of the road. Now Gio's going to go around the outside, then the inside. Nicoli goes completely straight on. Gio gives Cianti a smack in the door. Either that or Cianti turns in on him. And now look at that, Berto tries to go through. Nicoli smashes the foam boards to bits, then suddenly he's come back out of it into a three-wide situation. Pouget flashing the headlights, looks down the inside. This is Gio looking down the inside of Berto. Oh, Pouget sliding in front of Nicoli. Alex Alboy, by the way, in 8th place, started 13th, so he's doing a great job of coming back through the order at the moment. Oh, and Cianti's gone straight on. Oh, so too is Gio. Gio's done it as well. They use the escape road. Oh, Pouget's turned! Pouget's chucked around by Lorenzo Nicoli. That's championship implications right there, with 3 races from the end of the season. And Pouget is turned around. He drops place after place. Guillaume Mayo's going to come through. Start of this lap, he was 16th. That would mean that Pouget is back where he started in 15th place, but Nicoli delivers the finishing blow to Pouget. He could have been understeering wide on the exit. Let's have a look. He tries to get a cutback. Oh, Pouget, I mean, he was on the dust. He was on the gravel on the left-hand side. Not sure how much room Lorenzo wanted, but that looked very naughty indeed. And that is huge for the championship. Nicola Milan and David Pouget came into this race meeting separated by only 9 points, and considering they've got over 800 each, it's a tiny, tiny gap to have in a championship fight. Unbelievable stuff. So Nicola Milan could probably quite happily sit in 2nd place now, but this is Nicola Milan. He's probably not going to do that. Mark Gio back down the inside of Berto. Berto's going to try and get a cutback through the Parabolica. And he does. Lovely stuff. Now Nicoli thinks, right, let's get into this fight with some more of you. Lorenzo did come under the wrath of the stewards quite heavily at Misano. Hopefully, for his sake, he's not going to have that again here, but you can see the guilty marks on the front left of his car, the rubber marks from Pouget's car. Pouget's 14th now, ahead of Guillaume Mayo. You can hear them. Oh, there you go, skipping away. Yep, they're trying to not lock up the brakes, but you hear the cars just shimmying around on the surface. There's Herrerias. He's got Nicola Abea right behind him, but it was Cianti and Nicoli that went straight on. They're going to have to try and filter back into position. And Berto goes past Cianti. Gio goes past Nicoli. Is Alboy going to benefit from this as well? The GPA racing driver, currently 7th, looking to move up another spot, but Gelmini looking quite untouchable at the front at the moment. He did the same at Red Bull Ring as well. Oh, Berto's gone straight on now. He's not happy with how the car was slowing down, chucks it across the chicane. He gets back on with it. Well, there's more cars going off. Antonio Herrerias pops up out of nowhere, enter stage left. This is Nicoli down the inside of Cianti. Through he goes through Lesmo 1, down towards Lesmo 2. Hard onto the brakes goes Alboy. Cianti now suddenly finds himself down in 7th place. Or 6th place it would be. Apologies. No, it is 7th. I can't count, can I? There's Gelmini then into Ascari. Looks a lot more stable under brakes now. I say that in the way that it is absolutely not. It's wobbling around all over the place. You can see these guys also rattling off one another. That's Nicoli down the inside of Alboy. Through he goes. And we've got a black flag for car 21, which is the number 21 of Stefan Polderman. So I'm not sure if he's just ignored the black and orange flag. Oh, someone that's ignored track limits out there. is Bacci, doing some dancing around on the grass and on the gravel. Let's have a look back. Whoa, straight on Ascari. And to be fair, the best thing is to straighten it up as much as possible. Keep the momentum so you don't get beached in the gravel. Here's your race leader then coming back towards us. Just under 5 laps left to go. Or just under 5 minutes, I should say. Number 94 getting a black and white flag. That is Bacci, and that will be for track limits, I imagine, because he certainly kept a lot of momentum through Ascari there, potentially even gaining an advantage. I think that might be what the black and white flag is for. Filippo Berto doing a mega job at the moment, though. 3rd place overall, leading the Challengers Cup as well. There's Nicoli, one way then the other. He's got Herrerias all over him. He's thinking, this isn't quite Spanish weather, is it? Puget having a battle in the background as well. He's got Trebi, Cocaine, Milkovic all around him. Here's Herrerias in the slipstream through Curva Grande down towards the Della Roggia chicane. And that sounds to me like Gelmini going straight on, yep, and Milan. Berto, the only one that fancies the chicane today. Alboy's gone way straight on as well. Not sure if the conditions are getting worse down there or something, but it's not often that we see that many of the leaders going straight on. Also Sebasti Scalera and Argenti coming back on too. Scianti and Nicoli both waving their wing mirrors at each other. Down towards Lesmo 2 they go. It looked to me like Herrerias was trying to get down the inside as well there. Down the long drag towards Ascari. That's Alboy in the slipstream of Marc Guillot, reigniting one of the massive battles we've had this year, which is GPA Racing versus Milan competition. Fastest lap for Jerzy Spinkovic, by the way, 22nd place. He may have started 16th and dropped down, but he's done the fastest lap now. And an incident with cars 73 and 74 is under investigation. That's Sandro Catini and Vittorio Zadotti. Not quite sure where that happened, but either way, both of them still running as far as I can see on the timing screen. You can hear again Gelmini using all of the tyre, trying to get it slowed up. And look at that, Herrerias down the inside of Nicoli. There's contact. Cars wobble around through Curva Grande, not Curva Grande, Parabolica. Oh, it's absolute cardinal sin to get that wrong. Now Nicola Abea trying to come through as well. In the white 93, Scianti says, right, go on, through the middle. And oh no, don't do it, Federico, don't do it. If you value your wing mirrors, which by the look of it you don't, do not do it. Now the incident involving Puget earlier with Nicoli is under investigation. It's taken a while for the message to come through, but it is under investigation, so that is being looked at. Car goes straight on at the chicane. Everybody goes straight on at the chicane. Argenti and Sebasti Scalera. Also Bacci going straight on as well. Bacci having a tough time of it. Who else is that going with him? Is that René Steenmetz in car 55? I believe it is. Nicoli and Scianti, they're still waving at each other this whole time. But the two of them are unfortunately just sort of shimmying backwards in the pack. Now, I'm not suggesting that the wing mirrors are that important on the Clio that they affect that aerodynamic performance, but they certainly are gaining places at the moment. There's Argenti coming back on again. He's got a lot of chicanes today, as Argenti, but he's not really gained anything from it, so all is fair in love and war. But look at the lead Gelmini's got now, over 2 seconds from 11-time champion Nicola Milan, on the brink of his 12th championship, fighting with Puget for that title. And we've got Filippo Berto in 3rd place, showing up as Beth on the timing screen. Alboy trying to go around the outside of him though, saying, nah, you don't want that podium really, do you? Filippo Berto says, get on that green stuff there, mate. Have a bit of that. And now Guillot says, oh, freebie, look at this. He's been slowed up, now I can get him back. Great fighting between these guys. Consistent battle development as well in Clio Cup Europe. No matter what happens in any of these battles, as soon as anybody fights with each other, they can suddenly cause another fight from cars behind. Guillot shimmying around, he's done that all year. It's been so agile on the brakes, that car wobbling about. It's a great run out of Parabolica, and across the line he goes. Now, last lap board, as you see there, comes out on the left-hand side, only just as well. We crossed the line with about 3 seconds done from the time it hit 0. It's a bit of a strangled way of explaining that. Gio up into 4th. Can he overtake Filippo Berto on the last lap? Could anyone overtake Gelmini on the final lap? It doesn't look like it at the moment. But Nicolas Milan, knowing that Paget is further down, will probably be happy. Now, there's a beautiful looking Gabriel Alonso. However, that's not quite where you'd want it. Now, that to me looks like Lesmo 2. Gio's gone straight on at the chicane. But Gabriel Alonso's car looked like it was at Lesmo 2. It's not often you see people go straight on there and, well, don't go further than where he ended up. Jerzy Spinkovic does the fastest lap of the race again with Unique Racing. 221.4, an average of 147.4 kilometres an hour. So even with the tiptoeing in the slow parts, that's mega stuff. And it was Lesmo 2. Gabriel Alonso gets going with it again. Is there a puncture on that car? Didn't look like it was perfectly straight. But look at this man, PMA Motorsports, Felice Gelmini. As I've told you, he's been racing in TCR this year. He's been absolutely phenomenal every time he's joined us. It was his father originally racing this car in the championship, and then Felice took over from Red Bull Ring onwards. He went fastest at Red Bull Ring in qualifying by nearly a second, decimating the field. And he won the races there as well in his 2 appearances this season, and the 4 races, well, 3 races so far, not counting this one. He's had 2 podium finishes and a race win. So he really has been a force to be reckoned with. Milan holds on to 2nd, Berto holding on to 3rd. That'll be a great result for Filippo and for Oregon team. Alboy 4th, he won the Challengers Cup yesterday, he wants to try and do it again now. Then it's Gio, Herrerias, Abella, Argenti, Nicoli, Cionti, Scavasti, Scalera, and then it's Milkovic, and Paget is 13th. Stuck behind Milkovic. The Serbian driver doing everything he needs to do at the moment to hold off 2nd place in the championship. But out of the final corner to take his 2nd win of the weekend on the road and his 1st win of the day, Felice Gelmini for PMA Motorsport crosses the line, flashes the lights. That's how you do it, sunshine. Brilliant performance again by Felice. Nicolas Milan finishes in 2nd. That's great for the championship. Challengers Cup win goes the way of Filippo Berto. Well done indeed. Alex Alboy is 4th. Gio 5th ahead of Herrerias. Abella. Argenti wins the gentleman drivers category. Nicoli is 9th. Cionti is 10th. Sebasti Scalera 11th. Paget ends up 12th ahead of Milkovic across the line. The gap between them just 0.05 of a second. Great job, though, by PMA's Felice Gelmini. Listen to these cars. They sound absolutely awesome, don't they? 1.3 litre turbo engines with 200 horsepower. Using sequential gearboxes as well, which are not flappy paddle, which is one of my favourite things about these cars. They used to be flappy paddle gear shifts in Clio Cup cars. But that is a thing of the past now, and they're back to big, solid sticks in the middle. 1 up, 1 down. And it's 1 up for Felice Gelmini. Fantastic victory there. Wins by 2.9 seconds in the end. And anybody that knows Monza well enough will know that it's not easy to pull a gap here. But once people are out of the slipstream, that is that. Waves to the marshals and everyone around the circuit. Gelmini very quickly becoming a real superstar of Clio Cup Europe. Here's your result then. Felice Gelmini takes the win, Nicolas Milan in 2nd place. Berto 3rd, great podium overall, and a win in the Challengers Cup. Alex Alboy finishes 4th ahead of Marc Gio, with Anthony Herreras in 6th place. Abella is 7th, which gets him 4th in the Challengers Cup, and Argenti wins the Gentleman Drivers. Then it's Lorenzo Nicoli and Federico Cionti. Alessandro Sebasti Scalera is 11th, Paget 12th ahead of Milkovic, Torelli, Trebbi and Paul Cockine. Pietro Bacci is 17th. That's good enough for 3rd place in the Challengers Cup. He's ahead of Spinkovic, Stuckey and Guillaume Mayo is in 20th place. He'll be a little bit gutted after starting 9th on the grid, where he finished yesterday. Quinto Stefano 21st ahead of William Mazzetti, started 4th on the grid and really dropped down. René Steenmetz 23rd ahead of Stefan Poldemon, who did get black flagged. Thomas Pekar will then inherit 24th. Lionel Viguier is 26th just behind them after taking a great result yesterday in the gentleman drivers category. And Lorenzo Nicoli has been given a 10-second penalty. So that gives everybody else a bit of a boost up, to be honest with you. So there's your top 10 as it is now, without Nicoli involved. Nicoli did cross the line a lot higher up than that, but 30 seconds down, that puts him a long, long way down the order. So already one of my result sheets is wrong. I filled them in manually in pen, and it is very wrong. Nicoli ended up 32nd by the time the penalty was applied. So, big change at the end then, but much like yesterday, it's Felice Gelmini that leads the drivers into Parc Fermé. Flashing the headlights once again. And to be fair, even on the cool-down lap, he's miles ahead of everybody else as well. Gives the car a rev. Lovely little pop and bang there as well. Gelmini getting the job done. Certainly made it look easy, and there he says number one. That was a sort of shh, like silence the haters. It was Nicolas Milan in Parc Fermé yesterday that pointed out that he gained an advantage. Wondering whether that's a sort of keep your mouth shut this time, Nicolas. Yeah, that. Very, very well done, Felice Gelmini. Bravo indeed. Did a great, great job. Filippo Berto, third place. You can see him in the background there. I'm not sure if he was swearing in Italian there or not, but either way, if he did, I'm sorry. Here's a look back then at how the race went. Fantastic start by Federico Cionti off the front of the grid. Nicolas Milan got a great getaway as well. And ultimately, Gelmini would have to fight back into the race lead. Cionti leading Milan early on. Everybody shuffled their way through the first couple of corners. Milan straight on at the chicane. He wasn't going to be the first, and he wasn't going to be the last. Thomas Pekar, as mentioned, became Thomas Dakar as he went over the gravel at Ascari. And then the battle broke out at the front. Milan attacking Gelmini, not able to do anything by the time the race ended. Henrik Siebel would bring out the safety car with this moment into the gravel. Certainly doesn't blend in with the camouflage. Race got back underway, and then the big moment championship-wise. Lorenzo Nicoli turning David Pouget at turn 5 would go on to get a 30-second penalty. But Gelmini floating his way around Parabolica to take a very undisputed race victory. Phenomenal performance once again. A real exciting talent to have in Clio Cup Europe. Milan finishing second, though, is very good for his championship hopes. As I mentioned, he's got 11 championships to his name. But that's all from us here today and this weekend in the 2021 Clio Cup Europe. I've been Chaz Draycott. Thank you very much for joining us, and I will see you again very soon. 2 weeks in Barcelona.